Namaskar. Let us today talk about loneliness. Normally, loneliness is something that we fear very much. Even there is a kind of punishment where the person is put into an isolated cell and denied every communication. In that condition, after a while, person goes derailed, he becomes mad. So much suffering gives the situation of loneliness. We human beings acutely feel our imperfection and incompleteness, and we constantly strive to complete ourselves. Normally we do it by prematurely making families, by jumping into relationships, making unnecessary relationships, entering into the social connection, social networkings, just to try fill up that emptiness, to remove that burning feeling of anxiety and emptiness within. And if the mind is simple, it works. It works. Just if somebody is around, it's okay, it's good enough. But when the mind grows in complexity, when the ego grows, and then when the mind becomes not only complex but also complicated, we discover bigger needs within. We not only need to create some noise around, but we also experience the need to be understood, to be really understood. And if the mind is so complex, is okay, but when the mind is complicated, it becomes very, very difficult to break through all those complications, and to connect with someone. And the need to connect is very, very strong. When I was a boy of 15 years old, in our village there was a man, and I thought he's an okay man, I thought he's happy. But one day I visited his house, and there I discovered the whole setting, the whole atmosphere. He was living alone. The whole setting was really screaming of loneliness. And he was begging us, please stay a little more, please stay a little more, don't go so soon. That moment I thought, this is really a condition, is really terrible condition. In your twilight years, to become lonely like that. I was really, really impressed. So how comes we human beings, surrounded by 7 billion other human souls, how comes that we feel lonely? Actually, because we build the wall around ourselves and we hide behind that wall. There are 6 enemies of the mind and 8 fetters, such as anger, pride, jealousy, attachment, desire, fear, hatred, shyness, and so on. So as we go, as we adjust ourselves with the world, and we receive our that the world sometimes hurts us, or sometimes we hurt the world, we build up that wall. Our ego develops, we create that boundary line. And we hide behind that boundary line. We don't go out. But, and in that condition, negatively we say, I don't need anybody, but actually we do. But I won't go out of my wall. I'm expecting others to come, to break through my wall. They will try, I will protect my wall. But I actually want them to break that wall and enter into my space and share my life. You know, the poet Rainer Maria Rilke has said, God, please break me open, crack me, because when I am closed, I am false. There is another poetry. He says, the same poet, he says, have you ever dreamed about the situation where your enemy will overcome you. You are there at your walls. Look down and see your enemy is there, just like a sea. He does not diminish in strength. He does not require food or water. The one who will overcome you is working in silence. It is a beautiful metaphorical explanation that we build up our ego and we defend it. And the God, who is the enemy of the ego, is making a siege of your town. And then one day, from hunger, desperate, you will submit to your enemy and your walls will fall. So we actually all dream that this will happen, that all my walls will be shattered into the pieces. And we wait for people to come and break my walls. And I will not go to the people because I have a complex. Why should I impose on people? Maybe nobody wants to deal with me. Why should I create trouble and discomfort for them? And to some extent it is true, because when the person in a condition of need, then nobody likes beggars. Everyone likes donors. So when we expect, you see, if the lonely person, really deeply lonely person, he will always, formulate some claim and will say that, why you're not taking proper care of me? Will expect from others. And that very expectation creates the whirlpool of energy. You feel that I want to avoid that kind of person. And truly enough, these people, they are left isolated, even within their own families, even within their very dear and near environments. So what is the solution for that? Solution is very simple. Is stop doing business and start doing service. Business is when I do something and I expect something in return. That expectation spoils everything. And service means when I'm doing something and I'm not expecting anything. I'm doing something because I want to express my love. There is a song, it says, the one who loves is also loved. It cannot be that you love and nobody loves you. It cannot be in the situation of this universe. It cannot be. If you love, if you genuinely love, if you genuinely care, if you live in that paradigm of giving out your energy, there will be so many people who would like to be near you. Even that is false, because they like to be near you because you are giving. But you actually expect a very special relationship. You want the relationship where not because of what you are giving, but because of what you are. One time, there was a time when I was experiencing loneliness. Actually, I wanted to become monk, embrace monastic life. And my teacher, he said, do you have any idea what monastic life is about? I said, tell me. He said, it is about loneliness. You are going to be lonely, at times very, very lonely. Are you ready for that? Perhaps. And he sent me to the town where there was no practitioners, no friends, nothing. No resources, no money, no nothing. I was feeling very lonely. I thought that I had so many friends. We love each other. And they will be calling me, they will be, trying to connect with me, because they cannot be without me. I was wrong. Somehow people found their ways to exist. And then I realized one thing. which made my life much easier. I realized that actually nobody needs me. They can manage without me. I'm not indispensable. Seemingly it is a painful realization, but my soul became so light. I thought, wow, I don't expect anything now from anybody, that they will come to me. Because no, the world is not like this. The world is not around me. The world is different. It made my heart so light. And my guru has said, he said that, remember that nobody owes you anything, but you indeed owe a debt to every creature of this universe. So with this feeling, when you stopped expecting anything from others and just give something from yourself, you will find pleasure, you will find satisfaction in the process of giving itself. And you will find it is more charming, more beautiful than when you are giving and expecting something back. Because that expectation brings the mind to the lower levels and deprives you from the joy of real giving. But it is easy to say, okay, do service and give. But if I don't have, then what? If I have, let's say, $50 and I have to survive 1 month, how to come out and give that little that I have? Being in the condition of poverty is very difficult to be generous. So we have to become as rich as the richest man in the universe. And that inner richness comes from what? That inner richness comes from the making contact with the infinite source of richness. When the mind is saturated with bliss, because of coming in touch with God through spiritual practice, when you cannot hold that bliss anymore within yourself and you come out giving that bliss to others. You know, sometimes when meditation is good, you really attain concentration in meditation. The moment comes that you cannot restrain anymore yourself. You just want to go and share your inspiration. So that, and the comparison is that my teacher, he gives this comparison, he says that when the cloud cannot contain the rain anymore and pours the rain down. So when you cannot contain that bliss within yourself, the joy within yourself, and pour it out, that is called love. And that love, if you love, you always will be loved. So 2 points is there. 1 point is that need to do service. Come out of the wall and go. Don't expect somebody will come breaking your wall. And secondly, fill yourself up to the brim with the joy of existence through spiritual practice. And then share that bliss that you generate within. And loneliness will never be there. And what happened? I was sent to that lonely city. And I was really feeling very, very, very lonely. You cannot imagine, I cannot describe how lonely I felt. I was a very young boy. And then one day, this realization occurred to me that nobody needs me. I'm not the center of the universe. I don't expect anything from the universe. And then just spontaneously I took the guitar and I started to sing Bhavanam Kevalam, the mantra, love is all there is. That moment I felt the presence. I felt that somebody was with me all the time, is with me now. I was feeling the presence of sublime blissful entity and will always be with me. And I lost the fear of loneliness. When my teacher has come to the city, I told to him, Dada, you know, I experienced this. I'm not afraid anymore of loneliness. He said, yes, and this is our path. Namaskar.